What's up, Night Owl? Steely here, back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at the spoilers for the new D&D campaign source book, Mythic Odysseys of Theros. And if you don't already know this, Theros is a plane in the Magic the Gathering universe, kind of like the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. They're pulling Magic the Gathering stuff into D&D, which I am totally cool with. Mythic Odysseys of Theros is going to be coming out on July 2nd digitally, and then physically it's coming out on the 21st. Now, obviously, as the title implies, there's going to be spoilers ahead. If you want to be surprised by what's in the new book, close out of the video now. Otherwise, that was your warning. Now, the source for all these spoilers is the official D&D Twitch channel. They streamed a lot of these spoilers, and they didn't cover everything. There was a lot of cutoffs there, and I'll be sure to address those as they come up. But I was able to pull all the information that they provided with screenshotting and clipping. So, with that being said, let's do it. Now, this is the very first thing that they showed on the stream. This is Supernatural Gifts. It's a new mechanic that they add that lets you give starting characters kind of a cool buff. Now, these are a lot like boons in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I've personally never even been in a game where a player was awarded a boon. Those things are just too powerful. So it's really cool that they added these supernatural gifts, as they're pretty toned down as far as power level goes. Now, the stream didn't go through all of them, but I will show you the ones that they did cover. So, the first one they showed was Unscarred. Unscarred gives you the trait Unscarred Resilience. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12. Add your con modifier to the number rolled and reduce the damage by that total. After you use this trait, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not too unbalanced, I don't think. You roll d12 plus con, you kind of shrug off that damage. You could save that for a crit. So the next one is Oracle, and this one's got a lot to unpack. So I'm just going to briefly go through some of these. Ears of the Oracle, you can speak, read, and write Celestial, and sometimes your deity will send you a message, so that's pretty cool. Oracle's Insight, you can add a D10 to an ability check after you've rolled the D20, but before success or fail is declared, once per short or long rest. Oracle's Piety, instead of gaining the piety benefits associated with any god, you gain the following traits when you reach a specified piety score. As your piety score goes up, you gain these traits. Next up is Iconoclast, and these are for the characters that don't want to worship a deity or don't want to represent one. Enlightened Protection, you can cast Protection from Evil and Good, targeting only yourself and no material component, once per long rest. Reject the Gods. You can't gain or lose piety to any god. You instead gain the following traits at the character level listed in each one. 5th level, Iconoclast Hero, you can cast Dispel Magic with this trait, once per long rest. 11th level, you can cast Dispel Evil and Good, also once per long rest. You can also cast Dispel Magic as a 4th level spell. And then at 17th level, you get Anti-Magic Field, no material component, once per long rest, and your Dispel Magic goes up to a 5th level spell. Next up is Lifelong Companion, and it actually specifies that you can make a player character your companion with that player's consent. I guess this is good for those couples that like to play D&D together. You get Boon Aura. Your allies within 5 feet have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed, provided you aren't incapacitated. Companion's Protection. If an ally next to you gets hit with an attack, you can make it hit you instead, once per long rest. Now, unfortunately, those are the only ones that they showed on stream, but they did give the list, so you have the names of the other ones. Anvil Rot, Heroic Destiny, Iconoclast, Inscrutable, Lifelong Companion, Nyxborn, Oracle, Pious, and Unscarred. So that's the new mechanic, Supernatural Gift. They didn't really touch on piety that much, but from my understanding, you level up your relationship with a deity. That's actually pretty cool, and I'm hoping that you could maybe use other deities from outside of Theros and kind of give them a template. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at the piety system. They didn't really cover that well, but that would be pretty cool if you could use other deities outside of Theros with that piety mechanic. That would be pretty cool. So next up is the races. Now, they gave you some new flavors for the races that already exist, but unfortunately the stream didn't cover those. But we did get the list. Centaur, Minotaur, and Tritons have a new flavor, and humans have a new flavor. And there are 2 brand new races, which they did cover in the stream, starting with Leonin. Leonin is another cat-like race, kind of like the Tabaxi, but whereas the Tabaxi is more like a house cat, Leonin are more like lions. Leonin gets Con +2, Strength +1. They're medium sized with a base walking speed of 35 feet. They get Dark Vision 60 feet. And claws. Now, unfortunately, the stream didn't scroll all the way down for the Leonin traits, and believe me, I'm as upset as you are. I watched so much of that stream to make sure I didn't miss it. Like maybe they scrolled, but no, they didn't cover all of the Leonin. So this is what we have so far. The next race is the Satyrs. Satyrs are playful and mysterious fae. They get +2 charisma, +1 dex. They're medium sized with a base walking speed of 35. They are considered fae rather than humanoid. They have a ram similar to the Minotaurs. You can use your head or horns to make an unarmed strike, and you do a d4 plus strength bludgeoning, not piercing like the Minotaur. They have magic resistance, advantage on saving throws against spells. Mirthful leaps. Whenever you make a jump, you can add a d8 to the amount of feet that you cover. Reveler, you have proficiency in performance, persuasion, and a musical instrument of your choice, and they can speak, read, and write Common and Sylvan. And that's it for the new races. I'm not really blown away by them. I'm more of a dog person, to be honest, but they're kind of cool. I'm looking forward to trying them out. Now let's look at the class options. We have two, a new college for bards and a new oath for paladins. The Bard College of Eloquence is more for those face characters that like to do a lot of talking. You get Silver Tongue, which lets you treat any d20 roll below a 10 as a 10 for persuasion and deception checks. You get Unsettling Words, which lets you use your Bardic Inspiration die to reduce a creature's saving throw. At 6th level, you get Unfailing Inspiration, which lets you keep your Bardic Inspiration die if you fail the check that you used it on. Also at 6th level, you get Universal Speech, which makes a creature understand you regardless of the language that you're speaking, once per long rest. But you have the option to expend a spell slot in order to get the feature back. And finally, at 14th level, you get Infectious Inspiration, which says whenever a creature uses your Bardic Inspiration and succeeds, you can use your reaction to pass that die on to another creature. And you can do that a number of times equal to your Charisma mod per long rest. Next up is the Paladin's new Oath, Oath of Glory. Here's your tenets and spells. Channel Divinity, Peerless Athlete. For the next 10 minutes, you have Athletics and Acrobatics advantage. You can carry, push, drag, and lift twice as much as normal. And your jumps are increased by 10 feet. You also have Inspiring Smite, which lets you distribute temporary hit points as a bonus action whenever you use Divine Smite. At 7th level, you get Aura of Alacrity, which gives you and allies within 5 feet of you 10 feet of movement. At 15th, you get Glorious Defense, which lets you add your Charisma mod to the AC of a creature within 10 feet of you as a reaction to them being attacked. If the attack misses and the attacker's in your range, you can take a swing at him. Now, unfortunately, they didn't scroll down far enough to get all of the 20th level feature Living Legend, but here's what we got. As a bonus action, you can gain one of these benefits for a minute. Blessed with an otherworldly presence, gaining advantage on charisma checks. And once on each of your turns, whenever an attack misses, you can cause that to do something. And finally, we got a new background called Athlete. Now, unfortunately, they didn't scroll all the way down, so I didn't get all of Athlete, but we did get the meat of it. Proficiencies, Acrobatics, and Athletics, one language of your choice, land vehicles, and some gear with 10 gold. Your feature is Echoes of Victory, which gives you fans who will provide you with shelter similar to the Entertainer background. And the last thing I want to talk about in the spoilers is the new adventure. This is probably the smallest adventure that I've seen in published material like this, and they even mentioned on the stream that you could complete it in about 2 hours. It's essentially a one-shot. I personally use Lost Mines of Phandelver to teach new players how to play D&D, but if this new adventure is juicy enough, I might start using that one instead. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, you know how YouTube works. Hit those buttons, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the new campaign book, and if you're looking for a game or you're looking for players, make sure you join the Discord, link in the description. Come by, ask questions, let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you at sundown.